I don't even know what episode number this is.
I've lost track of the numbers as well, but I know it's the second one of the year.
I was going to say we could call it episode 1 because it's the first time I'm here.
Okay.
Episode J1.
Yeah,
that,
J1.
ladies and gentlemen, is the voice of... Introduce yourself, my friend.
I'm Jaws, also known as Sam, Baby Shark, whatever you want to call me. What do you call me?
Baby Shark, do.
Can we not? I don't know why I even brought it up.
How you doing?
I'm good. I've been hanging out with you guys in your studio for the last...
I know, as we were
just
saying off the mic, that we pretty much discussed everything. We should have just let mics roll the whole afternoon.
I mean, that's how it always happens. I feel like I'll be sitting with someone and we have this incredible conversation about so much stuff that you wish you had recorded, and then the second that the red light goes on,
everyone locks up.
Yeah. But I do my own radio show on SiriusXM. If you guys want to check it out.
We will. Can we be guests?
I don't care about you guys. I'm talking to your fans that could potentially be my fans.
All right, okay.
You're plugging?
This is all a gigantic advertisement.
Because we don't have Sirius in this country.
No.
Yeah. Oh, you don't?
No.
But we're on Apple Podcasts and that kind of stuff. It is a podcast. There you go. Look, it's a podcast.
There we go.
But my point was, I'm comfortable enough being in front of the mic. So... We'll be able to talk about some
so we
cool
can
stuff.
stream a conscious. So what have you been up to? You're touring at the moment?
Yeah. Just got wrapped with London last Friday. We did Printworks. Biggest headline outside of America.
Printworks is sick.
What do you think of the venue?
It was nuts, man. It's like the way that I explain it to American people who have never been to Printworks or they've never seen it is it's like when I saw Printworks, it was what I always imagined a rave would be in like my
warehouse.
Yeah, like a dark, grimy warehouse that just goes until you can't see anymore. Yeah. It's like it is the quintessential fucking rave.
Yeah.
It is so good.
It's good in there. I thought it'd be quite narrow, but it's...
Well, they have 2 rooms.
Yeah.
So I played the live room, which is the wider room.
Yeah.
I think that's the one we did, I think.
Yeah, probably. Because the narrower room, like, it is narrow. It really is.
It's like a train tunnel.
Yeah, it looks sick from the pictures, though, because you literally can't see people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you were only seeing, like, the first half of the crowd. But I think especially for me, and probably for you guys, too, doing the wider room was much better. You get more production.
I haven't even seen the other one. I haven't seen the other one.
I think that had closed down that night, and we ended up there later for drinks. Just once all the lights had come on. Do you remember? It was like a really narrow tunnel.
And our ex-manager was DJing.
He was one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the one.
So, what brings you to London apart from Printworks? What are you doing?
I just hate America. So
apart from coming to see us.
Yeah. No, that's really what it was. Is I just I've actually been camped outside your studio for the last 3 days, just hoping you guys would show up.
And we didn't.
No, but yeah, I've been here. I mean, I have a couple shows on the weekend. I have Cardiff and Newcastle, but I'm here trying to get in the studio and do things and make up for my computer that caught on fire.
So what happened?
So I don't know about you guys, but for the last couple of years, I've traveled with 2 laptops. I've traveled with a DJ laptop that has all my record box stuff, and then a production laptop. And the newest iteration of the MacBook Pro just came out with a 4 terabyte hard drive.
Is that the i9, the new processor?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so I got like the super torqued out, like craziness. The i9, 16 gigs of RAM, all this crazy shit, 4 terabytes. The 4 terabyte hard drive alone was an extra $2,000.
Fucking hell.
But it was worth it in my mind because I was like, now I can just travel with 1 laptop.
And you don't have to plug in a peripheral drive.
And I don't have to plug in a peripheral drive. And now that I only have 1 MacBook, I can bring my gaming PC on the road. The way I swung it to my wife was I was like, I'll only have 1 laptop. My backpack will get way lighter. But then in my head, I'm like, well, I'm just going to replace that second laptop with a different laptop. But that's neither here nor there. But so it was right after Christmas. I was at my wife's family's house. I ordered the laptop. It got there like the next day. I took both laptops and transferred everything onto the new one. And then
because it's Christmas, I have this vision of you opening it like a present.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And that's why I did it. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. It's like a present. And then, so I transferred everything over, and then I immediately sent the 2 old laptops back to Apple because they'll do trading credit. I got like $3,000-ish for both laptops together, which is not bad.
So they give you that money when you trade them in?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I didn't know they did that. God, I've got so many of them sitting at home.
Yeah, but like the older shitty ones will be like $85. These were like basically brand new.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's all you do is you go on this website. I can't remember what it's called. With the laptop specifically, you can't just go into store. They'll send you a box. And once you like put in your like serial code and shit on the website, it'll tell you about how much you'll get back.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's worth doing. I mean, you'll get them out of your house. But anyways, so I did that, sent the computers off. And then after Christmas, what did I do? Like Holy Ship and like maybe a couple other things. I was just bouncing around. We were about to move house, all this stuff. And I just never thought to back up the computer because it was 2 weeks old. 2 weeks old.
So, and the other ones that you sent off obviously had...
Nothing, because I wiped them because that's what you have to do when you send in a laptop.
Right. But no other backups or anything?
No.
So Mac are not receiving them with all your porn on it and stuff. It's just
that's not an option.
Completely blank. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I mean, the FBI can probably still get that shit if they really want, but
with the data mining forensics or whatever,
and samples and.
Well, I wish they could have data fucking mined my computer back because I lost all the memory on that. So what happened is I was working on a remix, went to bed, woke up in the morning, was like, oh, I wonder if it sounds as good as I remember it sounding. And I go to turn on my laptop, black screen. Oh, okay, that happens. Try everything under the sun to turn it back on, and it was gonzo. And I took it to like Apple and like a million other stores, and they were like, you only can bring it to this one place called Drive Savers, which ironically is located where I grew up. For whatever reason, I don't know, but they are the world's best data recovery.
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah.
They do a bunch of shit with the government. And
exactly, yeah. Like when they are the only ones that can get shit when other people can't. And they literally, their office is like a block from my dad's house. It's really weird.
So they were saying it was a hard drive issue?
No. No, they were saying that the logic board was fried.
Right.
And because the new MacBooks have all the parts soldered to the logic board, you can't just pop the solid state off anymore.
God damn it.
It's so frustrating. So I sent the computer into Drive Savers, and I paid for, or I was going to pay for, because if they can't recover anything, you don't pay anything, which is nice. But I was going to pay for the expedited recovery time, which was 1 day, and it was going to be like $4,000, $5,000.
Fix my shit now.
Yeah. But the thought process is, if you have one song on there that ends up becoming a real thing, that $5,000 is paid for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or in dividends, really. So they were supposed to give me an answer 1 day after I sent it in. It took them 2 weeks, and they like had to order extra parts, all this crazy shit. And they were like, dude, your computer is toast.
Wow.
Yeah, there was nothing they could do.
Did they say what happened, or it just...
They said either I got a lemon or it was a power surge. Fuck. And how do you have a computer fry on a power surge if it's plugged into a power surge protector?
So it's just a real bad Mac.
I've had duds before from Apple.
It's not unheard of.
Yeah.
But it's just when you pay like $7,000 for a new computer, top of the line, like so I've never had that happen in my life.
Did they replace it or?
I'm still in the process of figuring it out because I didn't order it from Apple. I ordered it from this company called B&H, if you're familiar.
Nope.
They're like a huge photo, video tech company in New York. And
so they're a reseller.
They're like a Mac authorized seller. But the cool thing is, like, if you go through Apple to get a computer of that specification, it normally takes weeks. But with B&H, it's next day shipping because they like pre-buy them customized because they know that their professional customers want them and like immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it was like, it was even on sale, I think. I can't remember. It was like a Christmas thing. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And so now I have to deal with them to try to return the laptop and get my money back for it. Because I've obviously already bought a new computer from Apple this time. because I had to keep working.
How far back have you gone now? How far back is a step? A year's worth or
year and a half probably?
So a year and a half worth of
new stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's like lit a fire under my ass, so to speak. Like I've written a ton of music since I got my new computer. But there was a lot of stuff on there like hip hop beats and like instrumental songwritery stuff that we were actually going to like use when we came out here for all these sessions with, songwriters. And that sucks, but it's also, I'm one of those people who kind of believes in the universe kind of directing you where you're supposed to go. And I have a feeling that, I don't know about you guys, but I like when I have like 100 projects that are like halfway finished, I can't do anything new.
Yeah.
Because I have so much stuff that I feel like I need to finish, and you're tied down to them. And now that they're all gone, I'm just like back in like, 100 miles an hour, like straight forward.
It is kind of liberating. I mean, we had that same sort of thing happen at like the very beginning of Pendulum.
That's how Pendulum started, yeah.
And we just like had a hard drive crash, lost like 2-3 years worth of stuff.
Oh wow!
And just to have like nothing that you can rely on, have to make everything from scratch. It's kind of opens itself to thinking of new sounds, going in a new direction.
It's like a rebirth.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's like one of the things that they would teach us at Icon, because if you're not familiar what that is, Icon Collective is the music school that me and Keizo, Nightmare, Slander, tons of kids went to in LA. It's a pretty cool spot.
Steve Dude is a lecturer there.
Yep.
Dubstep University.
Dubstep University.
Yeah, basically.
Amazing.
But outside of the technical stuff, there was one of the big classes is all about like your mental state and being a real creative person. And really the class is about learning how to let go and understanding that creativity is like just about as much about, destroying things that you create as it is creating them. You know what I mean?
Wish we went to Dubstep University, Rob.
Yeah, my audio college didn't go that deep.
Yeah.
This is a compressor. If you turn the threshold down, the sound will get more squashed. So...
and that concludes your 3-week tour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's why I went to Icon as opposed to like, the other. There's a lot of great schools in LA for music, but most of them are very technical, and they're also about the old school methods of recording and mixing and mastering music.
I mean, most sort of audio places go through that stuff, I guess, but like going into the psychology of it and creative sides is kind of cool.
So when you say the letting go part, is that also sort of down to like letting go of a song when it's finished?
Yeah, or like an idea. Yeah, that like knowing when something is done and no matter what you do to it, you're not going to make it any better, and just like accepting that it is where it is, which is something I think we all still struggle with. I definitely still struggle with it, even though I was taught to try to avoid it. But it's also like, if you have an idea and you think the idea is the best, but you just can't figure it out. Like you have to just like learn how to throw it away
and move on. That's some good skill sets right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're working on something and you've been doing it for like 2 months, you're sure it's going to be great, but you show it to people and they're like, not too sure, but in your fucking head that it's going to work. Do you just tend to leave it, or do you keep hammering forward?
I don't know. It's really weird because half of me like really relies on other people's input on certain things, because I think as creative people, we aren't afforded that third person perspective on a record. So something I think is amazing really might not be that amazing, and something that I think is shit might actually be really cool. So normally when I'm in the studio, like at home, I'll have at least one of my friends just like sitting behind me working on their shit, so that I at least have like a sounding board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, that at the same time for me is really just like, I feel like a lot of people like to be like secluded when they write music. I'm the polar opposite. I like grew up my whole life with like, writing music with like all my friends on our laptops at like a circle table, And so now when I try to write music by myself, and like I'm alone with my thoughts, I like freak out.
That's kind of like Sunny, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's the same sort of thing.
Sunny likes to have people around,
which is so alien to me because I've always worked best if I'm just like dark room, no one around for miles.
I'm literally the polar opposite. Like I want windows, white walls, bright lights. I want people around who aren't even doing anything with music and just like hanging out. Like honestly, some of the best records that I've written are in situations where like I was just sitting on the couch on Ableton and like my friends were sitting there playing FIFA. And like everyone was just like doing their thing, but I was like around other people, you know? And I don't know what it is about that, like,
it might sort of play into things like aspects of personality, like introversion and extroversion and stuff.
Right. I think it's really that I just like, I hate being alone with my own thoughts.
Do you like drinking or smoking anything when you write? You smoke weed? Anything?
No, not anymore. I used to a lot.
Did you find it helped or?
I don't think I found it did anything. I think I was just high all the time. I mean, I grew up in California. That's like, it's kind of the norm. You know what I mean? I literally hardly ever smoke weed anymore. Like ever.
I'm not too much of a fan. The one thing I do like it for is just recently, occasionally
perspective.
If you're working on a track and you don't know how the fuck it's going and you just
that's yep.
It just puts you in like a third frame of mind.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
that's the problem with it. It's whack.
Yeah. No, that's so. But that is also completely misleading because
it can be.
Depending on the kind of weed you smoke, depending on the mood you're in, depending on how much food you had that day, so many different factors, you're going to get a completely different high. And you're either going to have the paranoid high where you listen to something and you're like, this is garbage, I should quit music. Or you're going to be in like that like positive, everything is
I'm a genius.
Yeah, and you're literally going to be like, this is the sickest thing I've ever created in my life. I should pay myself $1 million right now.
Well, I mean, we very, very, very rarely smoked, but there was a few times in the past where just for the sake of it, for perspective, we went and smoked, and it did give us really good perspective on where something was heading.
Right.
So I guess we tried to recapture that again.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, once I stopped smoking weed, like full stop, I would definitely try to utilize weed in that way, where it kind of like, if you're stuck in a rut, it helps you get out because you just like, you're almost like a different person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now at this point, like, it's not even that I don't like weed. It's just every time in the last, like, I can't tell you how many months or years even, someone offers me a joint or something, I just say no out of instinct. Like, I have zero desire to be high anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what you think, but like personally, I think weed's not a great drug for self-esteem. That might just be my reaction to it. But like, you know, all the thoughts,
I agree.
You know, all the thoughts in your head that go like, I mean, whatever you're doing at any point in a project, there's always a voice at the back of your head going, come on, man, you don't really know what you're doing. Like these other guys are way better than you. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, and so that's exactly why I don't work alone. Because when I'm by myself in a box, all of those thoughts just pour out. And it might be something to do with like the fact that I have crazy ADHD or whatever it is. But like when people are around, like those thoughts don't go away.
Damn, yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. But on the weed side, I think that weed affects everyone differently and especially at different parts of your life.
Yeah.
You know, I think for some people, they would probably argue that weed drowns all of those thoughts out of their head, and they can just like, because some people I know, they get so focused.
Yeah, there's like high functioning people who just live
like
off.
They literally like, it's like taking Adderall or something, and they just like stare at the screen, and that's all they can see. And I've had those experiences, but if I had 100 of those experiences, I've had 10 million experiences where I smoke and I forget where I am and what I'm doing, and I go sit on the couch and just like. It got to the point where like I would smoke weed and I would get home from tour, right? And I'd be like, oh man, I can't wait to like smoke weed on the couch with my friends and play video games. But then we would get high and we wouldn't even be able to play video games. So we would just sit there and be high, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, oh, they'd be like, oh, you want to play video games? I'd be like, I'm going to be trash right now. I can't even move my thumbs. Like, why am I going to
Is that because the strength just got through the roof in California?
Well, I mean, probably. But yeah, now I enjoy smoking like CBD. You know, like I still enjoy the act of smoking weed. I just don't want to get high.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I feel like such a fucking adult saying that, but like, whatever, you know, to each their own. You know what I mean?
No, I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, I see. I mean, when you got shit to do, like the next day you've got to get on a plane to China, and you've got to get in the studio, you've got a window of opportunity to get some work done. You know, we call the next day like green-tarded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the weed hangover for sure. What was I gonna say? It's like that was my problem, is that I was smoking weed so frequently that my green tardedness just never like went away, and they were just compounding on each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like you would wake up in the morning and feel like shit.
A compound hangover. Damn.
Yeah. But for like 4 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
You're lucky though, because I find for some people, it kind of never goes away for them. You know, like heavy stoners that have been on it for like 10 years, they're always a bit kind of, and they're not even getting high anymore maybe, but they're still kind of functioning on a...
Yeah, there's something else going on there, because I smoked my fair share of weed, man. Like, yeah. And I never, like, that is like I don't want to speak for other people, but in my opinion, that is a personal choice. Like, you went down that rabbit hole and you never came back.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's the person you always were.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
the
what
thing
I mean?
is, you never really know if that person's just always been just stonery to begin with.
Well, that's more frightening, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so like, not that I was like green-tarded per se before I started smoking weed, but like before I did, when I'd be in high school, because I had a group of friends that all smoked weed, because everyone smoked weed in California, especially Northern California. My teachers would always call me out for being high in class, and I'd never smoked weed in my life. And it was like, my eyes get bloodshot a lot, and I don't know, I was also a bad student. So, I mean, I guess you put those two together and it's just, they think I'm high in class all the time.
So they were just assuming that you were.
Yeah, yeah. When like my buddies next to me who were actually high in class would never get called out for it. Like, I was the scapegoat. And it was so frustrating. So, I mean, by that logic, maybe those people, you know, are just... that's just who they are, and the weed just maybe accentuates it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like Cheech and Chong.
Yeah. I would argue that there are probably other substances that you could do on a regular basis that would probably melt your brain into...
Methamphetamine, that'll do it.
I was thinking more like psychedelics, but yeah.
I've tried a few. I've tried writing on a lot of stuff, and there's not much that's actually useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that people like if they take mushrooms or something, they're like, dude, it's like the best way to write. I don't buy it.
Dude, acid, I couldn't even work out how to work a fucking operating system. I could barely work out how to play some fucking music to listen to, let alone operate. Able to.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing with psychedelics is if you're using them as a crutch to become creative, that is a downward spiral you are never going to come out of. Because I had friends, or acquaintances, I guess, who were, when we were younger, wanted to be painters or other kinds of like actual artists, you know, not musicians. Yeah. And they would kind of rely on psychedelics to give them ideas, or, you know, paint on psychedelics or whatever. And they'd be like, you know, oh, well, this is just what I do. And it's like, okay, but like, that's not sustainable.
You're going to lose the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think there is something to be said for, you know, going and taking a tab and having a great day running around. And then, you know, like, for me, it's like a once every 6 months kind of thing. Yeah. It kind of like, you know, the first time you do acid, they say it like opens up that extra pathway, gives you that 10% of your brain or whatever.
Yeah.
And then every time after that is kind of just like almost like you're going in to like check your car after 6 months. You know what I mean? They just kind of like knock the mud out.
Yeah. I mean, I find it useful as a thing, as long as you can take it and then, take something away from it and not use it as a crutch. I think that's useful. But doing it all the time is slippery slope, I think.
What do you think of the people that, like, in Silicon Valley that microdose and that? Do you reckon
I think that shit is ridiculous.
Do you think it's legit? Or?
I don't fucking care. I don't care if it's making you a Super Saiyan. I don't think whatever.
Apparently, it makes you more. It
makes you more pretentious.
There was like upside. They did some study into it, and they had it had upsides and downsides. Like it's increased.
I would really hope that they found that it had some downsides, because there's no way, if it was that big, then why not put LSD into a pill, into a daily that you take every day, just the same way that people take opiates every day, I think a better alternative to microdosing is nootropics, if you know what those are.
Yeah.
Because those aren't, if you take too much nootropics, they're not going to make you trip balls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not actually causing your brain to I mean, who knows what they're doing, to be fair. But to me, that seems much more reasonable than cutting up a piece of paper and being I'm just going to take a tiny bit of acid.
And then go to work at Microsoft or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were saying it increased spontaneous creativity, but also increased levels of anxiety.
Well, I would imagine.
So yeah.
Yeah. And then if it's increasing your anxiety, then you're starting to take Xanaxes at night to calm yourself down, and then you're getting too addicted to the Xanaxes, so then you need to up your dosage, micro dosage, and then you're literally either just tripping or zanned out all day.
No, fuck that.
Yep.
Dude, it's crazy how big that opiates problem is in the States. Are Xanax an opiate? I don't know. I think that's just antidepressant.
Yeah, no.
Whatever.
Opiates are
Oxycontin.
Oxy and
codeine. All that shit.
Do you see a lot of that in our scene?
No.
On your side of the pond?
No. I saw a lot of it when I was a kid. Where I grew up was the prime location. Parents with money who are either taking them themselves or just never home. Just leave them in the medicine cabinet. I mean, yeah, the ease of access to shit like that where I grew up was, and I never did them. I'm actually allergic to pain medicine. Vicodin makes me puke.
That's lucky.
That's how I feel. I mean, no, because I only took Vicodin because I had to, because I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't feel very lucky then when I was puking with fucking cotton swabs in my mouth and bleeding out of my mouth.
No, that doesn't sound fun. But having a predisposition to not even be able to get hooked on.
Yeah. I have to get that done soon. All 4.
All 4?
Yeah.
What?
Damn.
Yeah.
Just now?
Yeah.
What?
Well,
I did it when I was 17.
I know, but in England, it's kind of, they're of the opinion that, look, if you're not in pain, then fucking don't worry. I know, in the States and Australia, it's okay, well, we'll proactively...
They're doing him in high school, yeah.
Take them out. But over here, it's okay, well, is it causing you pain? No, we'll just leave it.
I think that there's...
Is that why there's the what's the word I'm looking for? The stereotype that British people's teeth are just fucked?
Oh, there's an inherent fear of the dentist in this country. It's taken a few years of living here to discover it, but people are terrified. I love the dentist when I was growing up. It was it just felt like your teeth were fixed.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's that, but in this country especially, there's on NHS and socialized medicine, there's a huge thing of do your teeth function? Are you in pain? Well, then that's fine. The look of them, who gives a fuck? But as long as they're functioning.
Right. So then that is kind of the thing.
Yeah.
It's their teeth might be relatively healthy, but they're all fucked up, and it's just okay, cool, on you go.
Yeah. But as long as they're healthy, they don't really mind. Which
whereas in Australia and America, there's an aesthetic to it as well.
That's slowly changing over here. Probably
the stereotypes probably.
I would hope that it's changed in the last 250 fucking years.
Yeah.
Let's play a song instead of talk about what Gareth was just about to talk about.
What were you talking about, Gareth?
Well, you never know.
All right.